Welcome everyone from YouTube. My name is Sloth, this is Godforge, and thanks a lot for stopping by. In today's video I want to once again talk about another rare hero who is so strong. This hero is such a powerhouse and he didn't get enough attention yet, so I want to give him the attention that he deserves, because this hero, honestly, he is so strong. I did not expect him to be that good. I've been reading his kit and I was okay. This hero seems to be quite strong. But after testing him now for around 2 hours, 90 minutes, I'm not sure, I am so impressed. He's a real powerhouse. The hero that I'm talking about is Ma Chao. So yeah, first let's talk about his kit real quick. And yes, I know he's another eternal hero, so he's a little bit harder to get, I know. But if you clear all the campaign stages, every single time that you clear one of those campaign stages, the final stage, with 3 stars, you actually don't have to reach all 3 stars, you only have to fulfill this condition here. So here it says 2 Avalon or 2 Aru heroes. Well, this actually is not right. It is not Avalon and Aru, actually it's Izumo or Olympus heroes that you have to bring 2 Izumo or Olympus heroes here for this particular stage. However, for the other stages, for the other stage 10s of every single chapter, the condition is always the right one. You just have to fulfill the 3rd condition, not the 2nd one, just the 3rd one, and then you get the Eternal Soul Stones. Even though, or not Soul Stones, I'm sorry, I'm always calling them Soul Stones, however, they're Eternal Stones. And you get those stones just for, even though now it shows me that I didn't get them yet, this is just a visual bug, I got them every single time that you have the 3rd star. So then you can get quite a lot of those eternal stones, those eternal ether stones, I think it's called. Ether stones, yes. And it is absolutely worth it to do this, and it is possible once you have your first strong campaign farmer. Ideally, your starting hero at 5 stars should be enough in combination with a 2nd hero, and then just 2 heroes of the set faction that you need. However, back to topic. This is it provides you with around 30 eternal ether stones or so, and fingers crossed this should be enough for most of you to get Ma Chao. Of course not for everyone, but for every one of you who has this hero, you have to give this hero a try. Without a doubt, he's my new favorite hero because he is honestly so strong. So let's talk about his kit real quick. First, and this is the bread and butter of this hero, his A1, his basic attack. He attacks one enemy 2 times. The scaling is actually fine, 400 attack, because it is a 2 times hit, and each hit has a 40% chance of place a defense down 1 for 2 turns. 2 turns is very nice on an A1. However, if he attacks with a strong hit, it's actually the big version that bends down 2, which will decrease the enemy defense by 50%. This is insane. This is so good. It helps your overall damage output for every single hero. And since we have those instant turn kills in all the dungeons, we have just a limited time to clear those dungeons. So we have to deal a good amount of damage. And if you are like me, and your rare hero is actually a support, not a good damage dealer, then you lack damage most likely. And this is where this hero, Ma Chao, is so helpful. And all about this A1 is just insane. And then, but you have to, or ideally, you have to hit with strong hits. However, he has some built-in mechanics that help him to place strong hits. First, his passive. In general, he just has a flat 10% increased chance for a strong hit. And also, his strong hits inflict 20% increased damage. Then he also, on his battle skill, or on his core skill, first he places a sharpen, also the big version, on himself, once again for 2 turns, and then attacks all enemies. Once again, so cool this skill. Sharpen on himself for 2 turns and then all enemies. Just in case you wonder, Sharpen will increase his chance to inflict or to hit with strong hits by another 30%. So once again, extremely helpful, and it fits so perfectly into his kit. And then also, if he inflicts a strong hit, he deals 1% damage of the enemy max HP as well. So he's also good at dealing with bosses as well. Not only for waves, because for waves this core skill is very good, but also for bosses. And then also his ultimate, also a very cool skill. It's a 3 times hit, very good scaling considering that it is a 3 times hit, and then each hit triggers a random effect. In general, I'm not that big of a fan when it comes to those random effects, but still those effects are very good. Faith down, attack up on himself, or ignoring target's defense. And yeah, if it is a strong hit, once again, it upgrades those random effects for either the big version of Faith Down, the big version of Attack Up, or he just ignores 10% of the target's defense. So this kit, everything here fits so perfectly. He's such a well-rounded character, and he is an extremely strong hero. Just let me show you one thing, I'm sorry. As you can see here, this is just a random screenshot that I took while clearing some dungeons. And first, the time is, I think, quite decent, 3 minutes for stage 9 of the Shrine of Hercules. But this is not what I want to talk about. Have a look at the comparison between Guanju and Ma Chao. Guanju is at 6 stars and pretty much max level, while Ma Chao is only at 5 stars and only level 46. So we have a look at the stats in just a second and then compare their damage numbers. My Guanju is actually a quite good damage dealer, with 88,000 damage. And he deals nearly the same amount of damage. While, now let's look at those stats. He has 937 attack, while my Guanju has nearly 2000 attack. Also does my Guanju have 76% crit rate and 90% crit damage, while Ma Chao only has 20% crit rate and only 60% crit damage. So he has like only 30% of his crit rate, and Guanju has like twice the amount of attack as well. And the damage numbers are nearly the same. This is what I'm trying to say you. Ma Chao is a real powerhouse. He is such a strong hero. I really love this hero. He is without a doubt my new favorite hero. Because he also brings this very cool AoE on his core skill. So he just is as well able to help you clear those waves very fast as well. And yeah, my new favorite hero without a doubt. Now let's talk about some gear recommendations real quick, and then I think we're already finished with the video. And first, this is by far, at least for the weapons that I have access to right now, the best option in my opinion. The Hanjian, or Hanjian, I don't know how to pronounce this. However, this weapon just helps you once again to increase your strong hit chance a little bit. And since this is a rare weapon, a blue weapon, it is actually quite relatively easy to level this weapon up. So I would recommend you to look for one of those Hanjians with speed on a substat or accuracy. I'm not entirely sure honestly if accuracy is a possible substat. The secondary stat I mean. Yes, it is possible as well. Okay, so I would recommend you to go either with speed or accuracy as a secondary stat. And for a main stat, actually, attack is very decent, but also you will struggle to keep him alive here and there, maybe. So then going with HP or defense as a main stat is absolutely fine as well. It's more about the secondary stat in my opinion, because those are the most important stats for this hero. You really need enough accuracy to inflict the defense penalty, and you need enough speed so you can just cycle through your skills and hit as many times as possible with his A1, so that you just have a very high uptime of the defense down. And I've been spectating this now for a couple of runs, and he actually is able to keep up the defense down for pretty much the whole fight on the boss. So the fact that he brings defense down is already so cool, but the fact that he brings defense down on his A1 is just amazing. But yeah, I'm starting to repeat myself once again, I'm sorry. So let's go back to some gear recommendations. As you can see, my gear is actually not that good. I'm using only level 3 pieces, one level 4 piece and a level 2 piece as well. So there is way more room for improvement. And the stats that I mostly focused on were speed and accuracy. You definitely need enough accuracy. I would recommend to aim for something like 100 accuracy, depending a little bit on what stage you currently are, but something around 100 to 120 accuracy should be fine. I inflicted the debuff most of the times, but it got resisted here and there, a couple of times. And then apart from that, as I said, speed. Speed is very important. You just want him to use his A1 as often as possible. And apart from that, a little bit of survivability definitely helps, but depending on your team that you have built around him, you also can just build him for full damage. And this is the next thing that I want to try on this hero, to build him for even more damage and more crit rate as well, and just see how hard he is going to smack. And yeah, now when it comes to the sets, I mean, right now we are at a point in the game where probably building correct sets is very hard, but in general, if you have any sets that help him to deal more damage, or ideally the Shrine set effect, the 2 out of 6 piece effect, just for some additional speed, are probably the best stats to go for, the best sets to go for. And then let's talk about his ability, his upgrade ability priority just really quick as well. I stopped once I have ranked up his A1, his basic attack, because it just gives you another 20% chance to inflict the defense down. So finally, once he is fully booked or fully screwed up, he has actually a 60% chance to inflict defense down on both of his 2 hits. So it is actually quite reliable. Once again, not 100%, but quite reliable. Then depending on how many of those scrolls, how many of those resources you have, you can absolutely keep on scrolling him until all of his skills are at max, and I will most likely scroll his ultimate now up as well. But right now I'm very careful with my resources and I just want to give it a try now without this ultimate, because as I said, the bread and butter in my opinion is his A1, also the fact that he brings Sharpen on himself, on his own, and then also in combination with his passive. And this is the final thing that I want to talk about, his passive. It is absolutely mandatory to bring him at level 1 of Ascension because you want to unlock his passive. It is so much worth it, it's just this increased strong hit chance, and you want as many, as high, the highest possible amount of a strong hit chance on this hero. But yeah, I think that's it actually. I hope that I've mentioned everything. If you have any further questions, if you have any additional recommendations, or if you already tried this hero, or you think there is another sleeper hero that we should definitely try, please let me know in the comments below. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Oh, I just saw that Awakening 1 helps quite a lot, because I have a second copy of him, so let's do this here together, pretty quick, for another 2.5% chance for a little bit more strong hits. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you very much for stopping by, and see you in the next one.